Last time we were here, we talked about Ivan. Ivan is an example of one of the artists who had a really swift fall off. At the time of recording this video though, there is one artist who has seemed to master staying relevant, whether that be by dropping absolute bangers and great hits, or by making appearances in super popular songs from other artists, and that is Meisgucci. Before we can talk about Meisgucci though, first we need to give some background information about his story. Prior to becoming one of the most notable artists in the Eastman H Records group, he was a pro League of Legends player. He would soon take interest in making music after the first release of Iron 5, but he wouldn't release his own music until a couple of months later with What Are You Guys Doing Now with his friend Mavis, who also took interest in music making after the release of Iron 5. Today, we will be taking a look at the things that made Meisgucci's music life so much more different and smoother than Ivan's. Here are 3 things that Meisgucci did different than everybody else. And those things were that his ability to make bangers, creative musical content, and his previous fanbase all helped him stay relevant in the current musical climate. This is the story of Meisgucci. First, let's take a look at the musical bangers that Meisgucci has been able to put out throughout his career and his time as one of the best musicians that the Eastman H label has to offer. Meisgucci first took off on the song titled What Are You Guys Doing Now with Eastman H, and that song would be the thing to give him just the boost he needed to have one of the biggest hit songs on the YouTube channel. It would do better than Daniel Ivan Shen, and easily during the first couple of weeks, it would be able to climb the ranks and swiftly surpass many of the other popular artists on the same music label, such as Jeffrey Moon, Mavis, and Dwylan. To him, passing them up wasn't a challenge, and it shows. Even today, Meisgucci still holds almost the same amount of popularity as Eastman himself, and continues to grow his numbers with each new song that he puts out. The second thing that we need to look at was his creative and unique musical content. Meisgucci had some of the most unique musical content at the time, with songs like What Are You Guys Doing Now? Right after it came out, it was clear that Meisgucci knew what he was doing and that he was here to stay. His lyrics were able to stick to a lot of people and made them enjoy listening to his music, and they found it to be the best that has ever been released this year. Next, we need to talk about another thing that helped him stick to the music world, and that is his previous fan base. Before he was a very notable artist on the Eastman H record, he was in fact a League of Legends player, and he was able to compare to the likes of Dan Boy, one of the best Thresh players ever to be seen. Meisgucci would go on to have a fairly successful and solid legacy in the League of Legends franchise. His fans from his League of Legends days followed him during his transition to music, and that was another thing that helped him stick in the music world. Lastly, we need to take a look at the era that Meisgucci was born in. Personally, I feel like one of the key factors for Meisgucci's success was the time where he released his first single, What Are You Guys Doing Now? It was released at a time where Eastman H Records was a relatively new and young group of rising music stars. This was the perfect climate for Meisgucci to start his career, as his music is a perfect personification of what a perfect SoundCloud rapper should be. This naturally led people to be more interested in him as a musician and therefore skyrocketing his success as an artist. Overall, we see a lot of different things that Meisgucci was able to get right to get to where he is right now. Meisgucci was able to keep himself relevant throughout his entire music career through many factors. Meisgucci showed and proved to the music world that he is one of the strongest current music artists out there. Some of the things that he does right is his musical prowess. His ability to make bangers is unparalleled, and many people say that his music is some of the best being released this year. Secondly, his unique musical taste and lyrical content. This has been able to make his songs creative and different from everyone else. And lastly, his previous fan base definitely helped him stay relevant even though he has not been releasing that many songs. Overall, Meisgucci is a good example of a person who was able to use his resources to his advantage and was able to stay relevant in an otherwise hostile environment. This has been the story of Meisgucci.